Hello, welcome to the AIC Productions video. Over the next few days, I have a lot of projects I'm going to be doing to my MazdaSpeed Protege. So, a while back I replaced the wing mirrors because the ones were smashed and unusable and was unsafe to drive. So I just picked up generic black ones for a regular Protege. And I had them for like a month and a half. I finally got around to putting them on. And seriously, the day I put them on, I found these ones, which are the matching blue wing mirrors. So I'm going to take off the black ones, put on the correct blue ones so they look better, because the black looks honestly awful. What else I got going on here? So this is for later. I'm going to be installing a new head unit. So this isn't going to go in just yet because I'm going to keep using the radio that's there because I haven't bought the head unit yet. What else I got going on in here? So wing mirrors. Oh, rear door speakers, because the ones I have are blown. So these are factory ones, tested good. So hopefully they will not buzz and crack like the ones I have do, and just be a direct drop-in replacement. I'm pretty sure the speakers I have are factory because the front ones are. I doubt they'd upgrade the rear ones if they didn't upgrade the front ones. In this box we have yellow plasti dip, and I'm actually going to go ahead and plasti dip my wheels yellow. Why yellow? Because I thought it'd be fun. The gunmetal gray color that's on them is a bit rough, and they need to be redone, repainted. And I'm not quite sure if I want to go with a crazy color like yellow or pink or green or something, or if I want to go back to the original gunmetal gray. So we're going to try a crazy color like yellow first. That's why it's plasti dip, because if I hate it, I can just peel it off again. And then this big box, this is an InGen cold air intake. We're going to install this as well. So yeah, I do need a new hot pipe because my hot pipe had a crack in it. And so waiting on that to be delivered probably the first part of this next week. So I'm not going to be driving it till after this weekend. Anyways, but I want to get the work done. So that's what, 1, 2, 3, 4, plus I have all of this to put back in. Of course, I'm not going to use the air box, and that's the bad hot pipe. I'll be reusing that and the mass airflow sensor. I need a new bypass valve. I think mine's bad, so I'll probably be replacing the bypass valve here as well. So anyways, that is what I'm going to be doing this weekend. So today's Thursday, and I'll probably just time-lapse the video as I work on the different projects. So enjoy the next few minutes that you will watch me work on stuff. Alright, so it's getting too dark to continue working, but I got both rear door speakers replaced. If you watch the whole thing, the thing I always struggled most with is getting the door handle back on. the little stupid plastic clip that you have to pop back on the connector. I just have too short, fat, stubby fingers to do that with much finesse. So that's something I always struggle with, just because I have big fat hands. So I'm losing daylight, so I'm going to go inside, wash up, have dinner with my family, and then be back here tomorrow afternoon. I should be able to start earlier, so hopefully we'll get a little bit more done. I'll probably do the wing mirrors next. Hello and welcome back to another AIC production video. It is Friday afternoon. Yesterday was Thursday, and I'm going to be doing my wing mirrors. I installed these black ones because I needed something that worked, and like I said earlier in the video, as soon as I installed these, I found blue ones. Sorry, I'm squinting, the sun's right there in my eyes. But yeah, we're going to get these replaced. I do have to do a little wiring with for the tweeters, because the tweeters are wired into the same plug on this car, but the new speakers aren't wired quite the same, so I have to fix that. So anyways, let's get going. I'm going to change the camera over to time-lapse, and we'll go from there. See you in a minute. Alright, so now we have the side mirrors done. They are now body colored versus black, and it looks so much better than having the black mirrors. So we're going to take a small break, and then we're going to start working under the hood. Now we're not going to get everything done today, but we're going to get done as much as possible. So I'm going to plug the camera in, do a little prep work, and we will be back. Hello and welcome back. We are now at Friday night. Had to stop and run some errands with the family, and we didn't get back till dinner time. Had dinner, now I'm back outside doing more chores, so finally getting back to working on my car. I have jacked it up in the air, and I was going to do the transmission fluid, but I don't have the right size socket. It's a 23mm socket. I have a 22, I have a 24, but I don't have a 23. And 22 decidedly does not fit, and the 24 is too big, and I'm going to strip the bolt. So I'm going to see if I have a standard or imperial size that will work. If not, I'm going to have to wait until tomorrow when I can pick up the proper size bolt. I will take the wheels off though, because I'm going to paint those. And so I have all four corners jacked up in the air right now. So take those wheels off so I can clean those up and paint those tomorrow morning. So right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to crawl underneath and see if I can't get the drain bolt and the fill bolt. Fill bolt first. You should always take the fill bolt off first, because if you take the drain bolt off and you can't take the fill bolt off, then you are completely SOL. If you go to take the fill bolt off and you can't take the drain bolt off, well, not that big a deal. You can drive it to the shop and they can do that for you. If you can't take off the fill bolt at all, then you take it to the mechanic. So you always start with the fill bolt, because if you drain it first and then you can't fill it up, you're going to be in a world of hurt. Plus, draining it first also allows for it to drain more cleanly, so you don't have a big disaster on your hands when you're done. Here is the transmission, and the fill bolt's kind of on the front edge. So you drain it and then fill it to the point where it starts spilling out the front. Another reason for jacking up the car is to have it as level as possible. If I jacked up just the front end, then the level in the transmission would be way off, because the car would not be level. So it's not perfectly level now, but it's a lot better having all four corners up than if I didn't. So first things first, let's take those wheels off. Alright, so for tonight, I've jacked it up, I took the wheels off, I changed the transmission fluid, and now I'm going to replace the stock airbox, which this one is broken in many places and doesn't actually hold together very well. And so I looked at getting a replacement part, and if I was going to spend as much money as places wanted for a replacement part, I figured I'd go to the next step, which is installing a cold air intake, which replaces that stock airbox and this pipe here with let's see here, I haven't unboxed this yet, so here are some couplings with what looks like some instructions. Here is the pod filter. Back here, you got some more of the paper. So this is some really nice, I believe it's stainless steel parts. It's nice, clean, Nice airflow through that. It's really nice. Some more paper. So I'm going to have to read the instructions on how this all goes together. Ooh, that is a pretty sticker. How this all goes together for the intake. Clean it up, install it, clean it up so I don't have greasy fingerprints all over it. And away we'll go. Looks great. It really, really does. I love the way this looks. It's so shiny and so pretty. But yeah, let's get... We're probably going to stop at this point tonight. It's almost 9 o'clock. I'm pretty tired. I've been going since 5:30 this morning. So, probably take a break at this point, relax a little bit, get off my feet, and then pick it up first thing tomorrow morning when I actually have some more light and can have a chance to read the instructions. And then, what else do I got going on? So I'm still waiting for my hot pipe to show up. That should be here beginning this next week. What else? Oh, there's a guy on the Facebook page. My dipstick is broken. This is the dipstick here, and mine is broken. And he sells a metal replacement part, which will go here. It's 20 bucks for a whole new dipstick, and it was $25 just for that piece. I mean, this part's still good, so it's just going to attach here and replace that. What else? I'm going to have to relocate this somewhere because the air filter goes down here. It is a true cold air intake where it actually takes air not from the engine bay but from in here. The pod filter will actually be up under the fender here, which will be a pain to replace and clean. I took off the mass airflow sensor, so I'm going to get that installed in the new intake. I'll probably pick up some mass airflow sensor cleaner since it's out anyways. But yeah, we should be pretty close. I still have the tray, battery tray and attachment to hook the battery up because right now it's just flopping around. The strut tower if I have enough Plasti Dip, I'll probably clean this up and coat this in yellow Plasti Dip as well, just so that it matches the wheels. Not that anybody will ever see it, but I think the yellow and blue together will look good. At least it does in my eyes. I don't know if it will in real life. I think this is kind of plain, and I think I'd like to have it be something other than this basic silver. So we'll see about that. But again, that depends. I also need to bleed the brakes. So I'm thinking with the wheels off, I have brake fluid. I'm going to bleed the brakes tomorrow as well. But at this point, I'm done for tonight. I'm pretty beat. And yeah, we'll finish this video up hopefully tomorrow. I know I'm throwing a lot into one video. A lot of it's time-lapse. If you like the time-lapse of the work, I'm sorry it has to be me. I should probably hire somebody more attractive than me to do the videos. But if you like that, let me know. Give me a thumbs up or comment in the comment section down below. I know I don't talk about the repairs themselves because there's a lot of other videos out there that talk about how to do the repair. I just like showing the work I'm doing. Anyways, thank you for watching, and we will continue working on this in a little bit, and at least in a moment for you, and it'll be tomorrow for me. Alright, see ya. Good morning. It's now Saturday morning, and I have washed and mostly dried my wheels. If you hear me call them rims, I understand that the rim is just the outside edge, but if you look at advertisements, anything else, they'll call the whole wheel a rim. So don't get on me for calling it a rim. If I call it a rim, I understand it's a wheel. So I've had people call me out on that. I recognize that it's a wheel and the outside edge is just a rim. Anyways, so we're going to go ahead and I'm going to get my heat gun just to make sure they're perfectly dry. I'll wipe them down one more time, hit them with the heat gun. Then I'm going to wrap the valve stems with some masking tape, and then shake up some paint or plasti dip, and let's get these suckers yellow. I do have my index cards that I'll put around the edge. That seems like it's the best method to use for this, at least from watching other people do it online. What else? I think that's it, so let's get going. You'll see me wipe them down one more time and then get out my heat gun, and then, like I said, the masking tape, and then we'll get spraying. I'm going to put it on time lapse again. So for what me will be, a fair amount of time will be probably a minute or two for you. Alright, we'll see you in a bit. Alright, so that took way longer than I expected it to, and I wasn't even expecting to use all 4 cans, but I ended up using all 4 cans. Part of the problem was I thought I bought yellow, but I bought more of a highlighter yellow, and so being that my paint was damaged in the other sections where the gunmetal was worn through, there was black underneath. So those spots are darker and look more green. The thinner spots are more yellow. Anyways, it didn't turn out how I was hoping. I was hoping for a nice bright yellow, not an highlighter yellow green that's very uneven. So I'm going to leave it for now. It is still drying. It's in the garage, not in the sun. I'm going to let it dry. I'll probably run it for a little while and then probably peel it off and do yellow when I get money again, because I wanted it. I wanted the wheels yellow. So that's a bit frustrating. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to work on installing my cold air intake. So have the engine blocks here. I'm going to stop the video for a little bit, I'm going to read some instructions, and then get working on that. We will be back in a few minutes, a few seconds for you, and we'll keep working. I got a lot done so far. Got just a little bit more to get done for today, and then I'm waiting on some parts to show up. So those should be here this next week. So it's not going anywhere anytime soon because I don't have the hot pipe. Plus I'm getting some new coil packs because I think the ones I have might be bad. We'll see if the new coil packs do anything. Anyways, be back in a few. Alright, so I've actually already started the process of installing my cold air intake from InGen, and I will put the camera back onto time lapse so you can enjoy watching that. Alright, so my battery died when I was finishing up the cold air intake. So I apologize for that. I didn't realize it died until after I was already done. During the install of the cold air intake, I did crack my radiator overflow bottle right here, so I have another one on the way. It's supposed to be here tomorrow. We'll see if it actually shows up. But tonight, I did get what should have been the last couple pieces for this. I got 2 new ignition coils, and I got the hot pipe. So once I have those 2 things installed, we should be good to go on this. So go ahead and switch the camera over to another mode, and then we will get working. So yeah, I know this will probably be a really long video of all the work I've been doing, but I'm kind of doing it all at the same time and everything, so I want to have it be all done together. So one thing I forgot to do, which I'll have to do at a later date, is replace my brake fluid. So that is something I still need to do. It just won't be this time because I've done so much work lately. It's been off the road a couple weeks now, and I really just want to drive my car again. So let's get going. Alright, there we go. We're done, at least with this part of it. Well, except for the radiator overflow bottle. It's fine where it's at. It's not leaking where it's at. And it's not going to go anywhere, but it does rattle around. So hopefully that's supposed to come, like I said, tomorrow. And everything else is buttoned up. I don't have any tools, as far as I'm aware, floating around in here. So I'm going to go in, eat dinner with my family, and then we're going to come back out and start this up. Make sure everything's running good, and I'm going to take it for a spin around the block. So we'll be back in just another moment. Alright, so we're going to start it up and see how it runs. If it runs, hopefully it runs. It's been unhooked from the battery for a couple weeks, so, and I replaced the starter motor. I haven't tested that yet, so we will give it a chance to chooch. Here's to hoping. Oh yeah, that started right up. It did take a minute to start up, mostly because the fuel just wasn't in the lines anymore. So it took a second for the fuel to actually get to the engine. But I'm really happy that starter motor, I'm glad I replaced that, because it definitely was not starting very well. So I'm going to drive around the block and zip by a couple of times just to see if it makes any difference in performance. I'm going to let it sit for a bit, just let everything get nice and hot, and then see if it makes any difference on the performance of driving it around once everything's warmed up. Now I'm going to have to be a little bit careful just because that coolant bottle is just sitting there, so I can't be too aggressive. So I don't think it's 100% solved, but I definitely think it's better. One thing that I definitely noticed is I was really down on power. When I first bought it, I only put a few miles on when I first bought it. Other than driving it home, I drove around the neighborhood, whatever. I could do a standing burnout. After I'd worked on it, I couldn't spin the tires unless I really tried really hard. That's not a problem now. I don't have to try that hard. And it definitely seems up on power. I don't think it's 100% solid, but I definitely think it's a lot more. One thing is you definitely hear that bypass valve. So if you have a blow-off valve, they call it like a hooter valve because it kind of makes a popping or a hooting noise. A bypass valve makes more like a turkey call noise, and it definitely is very pronounced with the cold air intake. Massive fun that comes with that noise. So we'll go ahead and kick it off. Just check the engine bay one more time, just make sure everything looks good, and we'll call it good for tonight. I'll throw this video together, throw it online. Hope you enjoyed it. I know a lot of it's just watching me work on stuff, but that's kind of what I do. So anyways, thank you for watching. If you watched it to this far, and I hope you have an amazing day. And thank you for supporting my channel.